What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got a new topic concerning Gennady Golovkin. You know, I was reading a tweet by Tom Loeffler, which is Gennady Golovkin's manager, and he stated something very interesting, and I just want to, relay this to you guys. He said that after the hellacious fight between Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez, they asked Gennady Golovkin for a random drug test, right? And Tom Loeffler was like, hey, no problem. But I also want this in return. I demand that Canelo Alvarez take one as well. And then after that, that Vada test was canceled for both fighters. And I feel that I see that real strange, you know what I'm saying? And I got to do a little counterpunching on that. Why is it that a Vada test would be canceled? In fact, I did my research on this. It would be something different if Vada went out, and then, hey, yeah, we canceled, you know what I'm saying? And then come back, like the Big Ten fake out, like, yeah, like, don't worry about it. And then come back and say, hey, a couple days later, hey, no, we want to reschedule for this particular date. Maybe, 3 or 4 days after that, or a week after the initial scheduled date. I could see them doing that, like, kind of throw a fighter off, make a fighter think, okay, I'm going to do this, and then it don't happen. You know what I mean? And then, try to catch someone up, in other words, in if they did or didn't. Now, I've researched Vada. I have not, I repeat, I have not seen any evidence of them scheduling a drug test and canceling. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. And it makes you skeptical of like, well, why would they do that for the first time in, I guess, ever? You know what I mean? And I could be wrong, but that is not a normal thing. If that has ever happened. You go to the A side guy and you say, hey, you demand a drug test. And then all of a sudden, or you go to the B side guy and you demand a drug test. And then it's like, okay, then the B side's like, fine, we'll take it. But we also demand that the A side does as well. And then it all of a sudden gets called off. Nah, never mind. We don't want to do it anymore. That doesn't make any sense. That sounds suspect to me, and if there's any kind of foul play, that really, and another thing I'm gonna add, and another thing, that's bogus. I think that's real suspect. But let me say this. Canelo Alvarez was tested for clenbuterol. I don't know, and I don't care how it was in his system. You know what I mean? No one's talking about that no more. Everyone's talking about the $365 million deal, which is great. You know what I mean? With the zone and all that. But, for them to be canceling drug tests because he was requested one by the other side is very suspect. Because you got popped. And that has been what? He got popped in March. So March to September, that's 6 months. So in 6 months, you guys are all of a sudden canceling drug tests. No one's talking about him testing positive no more. And he submit himself to do random drug tests, but then a drug test gets requested, then all of a sudden gets canceled. I don't like that. That's a bad look. That's a bad look for boxing. It makes it look like the A side of the equation had somewhat of power or leverage over the Vada testing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's scary. You know what I mean? But of course, this is the sport that, I love, that I hate so much because of things like that. It could be, it could be reaching, but if you look at the facts, you look at how many times has Vada actually requested a test and then decided not to take it under those type of circumstances, because it was all of a sudden demanded by the other side that it was asked initially to take the test. You know what I mean? Then ask yourself, how many times how many times had it been recorded that a fight has been, or a test has been canceled? And then if it been canceled, there has to be a reason. You have to give a legitimate reason, like, why was it canceled? So if I'm Tom Loeffler, I'm like, hey, okay, it's canceled. But now I want to know why it's canceled. You know the guy that we were going to fight before, that we fought, and we lost the decision to, tested positive for clenbuterol. So that's more of a reason to come to Canelo. Really, they should have came to Canelo first instead of going to Golovkin. You know what I mean? It just looks fishy to me, man. I don't like it. It's a bad look. It's a bad look for Canelo. It's a bad look for boxing. It's a bad look for Vada. You know what I'm saying? It just looks bad to me. You know, and Tom Loeffler went on to say other things like, hey, yeah, you know, I guess, you know, when he found out that he didn't have to take the test, he was busy celebrating his decision by eating meat in Mexico. You know what I mean? He's throwing shade in there. But, you know, instead of throwing shade, I would be trying to get to the bottom of why Vada decided to cancel that test. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I just wanted to run that down to you guys, do a little counterpunching. You guys giving me your own counterpunching opinion about this topic. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.